Random Die. If you absolutely love thrifting for secondhand finds for your journals, or buying different things and making journals out of them, then this is the place for you. Or maybe you like rusting stuff up like doilies. Let's get started as I now transform a baby's board book into a journal. This is a child's board book. Just a really old one, cost me 50 cents at the thrift, and we're going to turn it into something really beautiful. It's just less than 10 pages. I think this one's got 9, so that makes it easier to work with. Then I found this gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous doily, I suppose you would call it, matte, I don't know, something like that. Look at the detail in this. It's been hand crocheted. Oh, so beautiful. And it was $1. And it says as is because you know why? It's got some stains on it, look. Little do they know that I am going to stain it even further. And you know what? When I got the board book, look, they fit perfectly to a page. Really love how that looks. So I'm going to actually rust this mat before I start. All right, let's start by putting down a towel because rusting always makes a big mess. Okay, and I just have a spray bottle like this, just a normal spray bottle, and I do it 50% water, 50% vinegar. Don't buy any special vinegar. I just use white vinegar, whatever I can find from the shop. And let's get started. So I've got quite a few rusty things that I use. I keep them in an old tray like this. All right. I really like this one, always leaves a great mark. So what we're trying to do is just get the doily to look a bit more grungy. All right, so I will start and just add the water and the vinegar first because I want this cloth to be saturated with it because it helps, really helps with the rusting process before I tie it up and put it outside. Now, I don't know about you, but I always wear gloves because I am the messiest pup in the world. So always with a set of these gloves. So let's soak this now. So let's start layering up our rusty items, and when I layer them up, I like to also just put another layer of the water, and it really helps.
Call me out, tiger. Call me out, why don't you love? Lift me up higher above the clouds, won't you love?
Just ordinary, everyday turmeric. I've got a quarter written on there because I take a quarter of a spoonful in my smoothie. So it just reminds me what I need to do. And you know, with turmeric, less is more, right? So we just want to sprinkle some on it. All right, so I'm going to roll it up now. And let's see how that looks. Just remember when you do it, you know, none of it is an exact science. If you are worried that you can't get it right or something like that, don't worry. Everything is just have a go. Like that. Let's re-soak it again so that everything is wet. Probably in this weather it'll only need about an hour because it's really, really hot. All right, I'm going to take this outside. So let's start prepping our book while we wait for the doily to do its thing with the rust. We need to push back a lot of these illustrations in here because they're going to show through on the doilies or the artwork that we do. Now remember, my fast way of doing this with the gesso is to have your greaseproof paper, which I reuse over and over. You would have seen that in my other videos. So I might just put a drop sheet down. What happens is if you have gesso and you use it, you know, obviously on every page, the pages are going to stick together. So my method is to use the gesso and you put a piece of greaseproof paper between the pages like this, and it stops the pages sticking, and you can do the whole book in one go. So let's get started. This was dry within an hour here and I just let that dry overnight. So let's take this one first and take all the rusty bits out and have a little look at what's happened and what we've got. I can see here beautiful colouring here from that big disky thing. This one here, yep, that's given us some markings here as well. So that's really good, really happy with how that turned out. So I'll have to go and just soak it, and that will make the rusting process stop, and then I can use it in the journal. So they're fine. So see what it's done, it's sort of pushed the colours into the background. All right, let's see now about starting the cover. In my grandma and grandpa's thousands of photographs, there are these. Now, this here was just a cousin of my grandfather. I never met her. I don't know who she is. So I'm going to start using these photographs up. So there's quite a few strange photographs. Apparently they were members of an operatic company way back in the piece. Here she is again. Peggy, apparently her name was. And yeah, they're dressed up in lots of different costumes. Gets more bizarre as we go along. I think his name's Reg, but I don't know who he is either. And, you know, these are just going to end up at the dump. There's Peggy again. On the back of one of them, it has all the description of the different colours that was in the costume. And look at this one. It's been bizarrely coloured in. I don't know who did it or what it was about, but there they are again. And these two guys, this is actually a very early photograph, but they're from about 1931 to 34. This one has been coloured in as well, but they're just a bit bizarre. So what I thought I would do is make this about opera, or, you know, a different form of art. All right, so the photograph I've chosen is this one here. And let me show you what I think for the cover. So I've got this rusty ruffle that I made up many moons ago. But yeah, I like to have things like that on hand because they can go with the project that you're doing. And because she's kind of turning to the side and sort of peering out, I'm thinking that she will peer out from there. But then I've got this fabric, which I really love, and it sort of goes with all the colours. So I'm thinking that and that. I've still got my doily, but that's for the inside pages. So this is just the cover. And I'm thinking a little bit of this. So put her in first, like she's peering around from the ruffle. And I love the sepia tones on this. I hope the light is not causing too much reflection for you guys. That's better. We'll put it there. See the sepia tones on the photograph, just beautiful. And I've always loved this bit of fabric. I've got hardly any of it left. It's very, very thin and gorgeous. So I'm thinking that might go there like that. Then this little bit is just a little bit of scrap fabric that I've got left over. coming out like that. It's another bit of rusty doily that I've done previously. So I've got a whole box, see here, of rusty things that I do in advance so that when I need something I can just grab it out. So yeah, that's a good tip for you as well. Grab that for yourself. And I'm thinking this may be about here, like that. And then I've got this little, I think it's a Tim Holtz little disc that says Artful on it, 1375. And I like that around about there. And I think that as a cover, let's put it back where it's not getting the glare, I think that as a cover looks really quite sweet. And then we're going to put the doily inside. So I just took that photo and all the bits of fabric to my sewing machine and just did a little bit of light stitching around it, just so that it all stays together for me to glue it down. Alright, it just makes life a lot easier than all the pieces moving around. And I'm quite liking how she sort of peekaboos out from behind the ruffle. Okay, so I'm going to get that stuck down. There is that beautiful doily. Now you can see where the turmeric is here and here, just in touches, but you can see how perfect it's going to go with the cover. Can we see that? So the colourings are picking up on all the different fabrics and colourings that we've got here. So that's going to be perfect. So now what I'm going to do is cut these into 6 kind of equal squares. Alright, now I'm going to get on and get these pages done and finished, and I'm just going to show you briefly each page as I go through, and then I'll give you a proper flip through at the end.
Hey darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city light. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car.
So, do we remember what it originally looked like? Or do we prefer this? Oh, it's so cute. Alright, let's have a flip through and see what you think. Yeah, this is our original book. And now we have this. The ruffle on all its gorgeousness. Ruffles at the back. So I'd already made them rusty before, and then I did this doily, of course. Alright, let's have a little flip through and see what you think. So that was one of the photographs, and I did a key. Some of this rustiness, beautiful. And I've done some sewing, added one of those, I think it's a Tim Holtz disc, Artful. And there's lots of different fabrics on there. So yeah, really happy with how that turned out. Open it up, and we've got a photograph there. I've added some background sewing here. And that's the first one of the doilies. So what I did was I painted over the gesso on all the pages, and I've added, you know, other collage stuff and the photograph. And then on this side I painted underneath them and added the doily. So, you know, you could still go back and put words or whatever on there. This is the second one. So I ripped the photograph and then just sewed it back up roughly. Paint, of course. Live your dream with passion. Lots of different textures going on. And the doily on that side again. This one had some green in it. This has been like hand painted, this photograph. So I was going to matte medium over the top, but it makes the colours run. I'll show you one further back that I started on. Yeah, I've got some green dragonflies, the word love, be you bravely. I don't think that guy looks like he's too happy being in that outfit, but that's just me. Quite funny actually. And then the drummer, and he's got a bit of cerise in here, so I added a bit of cerise down the side. And then let's talk about happiness. He doesn't look too happy either. I don't know whether they were supposed to be serious in their roles or something, I don't know, but I just found it funny. This rusting just turned out so beautiful. Look at all the different markings. It just looks so gorgeous. So yeah, I would have painted underneath first and then stuck that over the top, so you're getting glimpses of the cerise and stuff coming through. And this guy, he looked a bit plain, so I coloured his pants in yellow, and you can still see some of the yellow page coming through, and there's a bit of yellow from the turmeric there, so it all just sort of goes in. This was on a tea bag, and just added the number, and it says adventure awaits you. So I'm sure these actors thought that when they were in these plays. And then, is that my final page? Yeah. And then I've got art from my sticker book, the antiquarian sticker book. I'm sure we've all got one of those. And that's the guy there in the Pirates of Penzance. See, so I started to matte medium over the top, and you can see the colours run. So I left it. But then on this doily is where, remember there was a mirror on the back page? So I have done the mirror, and I've written, always remember, art, no matter how bonkers it looks, is still art. Because that's basically it. You can do any kind of art, and as long as it's your art and you're happy with it, then that's completely fine. And then on the back I've got 2 more ruffles, which I laid that way, and some lace in between, and all have been rust dyed. That is the spine there. And that's it done. So I'm sure you'll agree it looks a lot more yummy than how it started off, with all of the rust dyeing. It just looks so effective. So I'm hoping that you guys will be able to do one yourself and have a go. So thanks so much for joining me again, and let me know in the comments what you did, or whether you did one, and what photographs you used. Be brave, use these photographs up. These people were just cousins of my grandfather. I never met them. They'll all be dead now, so nobody will be offended that I've used the photographs. All right? Okay, if you're not subscribed, I'd really appreciate you subscribing to my channel and see what I get up to in the next couple of weeks and months and the year ahead. I've got lots of things planned. And thanks for being here. Leave me a comment down below and say hello. All right? See you soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful